Hey guys, Nicky here from Team Impact Training Ground and welcome to another edition of Training Tip Thursday. Today's topic, we're going to go through 5 running techniques, to optimize your running, So, tip number 1, we're going to start with your head and then make our way down to our feet. So guys, when you're running, you want to try to keep your eyes directly forward and looking into the horizon. The reason being is if you look down, you automatically want to drop your head, and when you do that, you lose alignment, and then there's a good chance that you're going to round out your shoulders as well. So guys, keep your eyes forward, chest up, and keep your eyes into the horizon. So that's tip number 1. Number 2, we're going to work on these arms here. So, first of all, imagine that there's a line drawn down to the midline of my body, okay? And with these hands, you never want these hands to cross that midline or that line. And the reason being is because if you do, there's a good chance that you're going to overcompensate and your back's going to kick in and do most of the work. Okay, that's the last thing you want to do when you're running for, let's say, 5-10 kilometers. Okay, so imagine that your arms are on train tracks, and they're moving just back and forth, So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, we're going to think about our core. So I want you to have tension throughout your abs throughout the whole running session, and let's say about 60% tension. Okay, so you don't want to be squeezing those abs super tight. You're not doing like a 1 rep max deadlift or a squat or a bench press, but like I said before, keep it around 60%. And number 4 here, guys, we're going to work on where your foot lands. Okay, so a lot of people, when they're running, their foot lands out in front of them. And if that happens, that actually acts as a brake, and it's going to stop you from moving forward. So you're going to lose momentum. So when you're running here, guys, you want to lift up your knee and you want to place that foot underneath you, just like so. Okay. That's number 4. Number 5, guys, and it's probably the most important one, being light on your feet. So you shouldn't be heavy when you're running. I want you to imagine that you're running on hot sand, okay? And the reason being is, if you're running heavy, guys, like so, and you're making a lot of noise, it's gonna put a lot of stress on your ankle joints, your knees, your hips, and there's a good chance that you're gonna injure yourself. So tip number 5 is light on your feet, So just a little recap. Look into the horizon, okay? Imagine that your arms are on train tracks, so moving back and forth. Your abs are on, that's 60%. Your foot is landing underneath your hip, and the last one is being light on your feet. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's Training Tip Thursday, and we look forward to seeing you next week for another edition of Training Tip Thursday.